Tento podcast je v angličtine, ale môžete si ho vychutnať so slovenskými titulkami. Prajem vám príjemné počúvanie.
I was also wondering when I saw the gypsies for the first time. Oh, Indians! My wife knows the gypsies, but they look Indian, I said. Honest, if you're earning, say, 150 euros and if you have a very simple lifestyle without a car, a normal home, you can survive in 150 euros with the family of 3. It is always related to the personal greed. It is never related to that one should have everything or something. It all depends on us. Whether we want to limit ourselves or we just want to expand ourselves and have everything in our life. To buy stickers because you have to drive on that road, then why the hell are we paying road taxes?
Like ready to die. Like I've lived my life, I've learned so much, I had so much difficult and also happy occasions and experiences. Like
Bol raz jeden o ničom a o všetkom.
Tak možno nejaké otázky?
Nemeriknice.
Tak si ich nechaj pre seba.
To je dobrý záver.
Beden, cicka, hreben.
he's checking up the mic.
The one word I understood in that.
Beden?
Chitska I understood.
Very well done. You learned fast. How long are you here?
How long I'm here in Slovakia?
Yeah.
You started? We're talking already?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. So I got married 2014 to a Slovak girl, and since then I'm on and off here, coming to Slovakia sometimes, going back to India. But 2020, after COVID, 2021, my wife decided that it's been too long that we are in India. Now we want to stay in Europe somewhere. So she was figuring out in which country she wants to stay and everything. But then eventually we mutually decided, okay, Slovakia is better because kids were small. We just had another baby, Isabel, and we decided that, okay, it's better that your family is here. I cannot all of a suddenly shift to Slovakia, because I need to start somewhere. All my work is in India, the base, and then we decided that, okay, let's stay in Slovakia. So for the first 1.5 years, we stayed in Považská Bystrica. Then I was traveling from Považská to Bratislava quite often, and it was too much time consuming, So I told her that, okay, let's shift near Bratislava somewhere because she wants to stay in nature, forest, parks and everywhere, and I want to stay somewhere, buildings, roads, people. So we decided that, okay, somewhere nearby we will stay at Bratislava. So it will be like 10-15 minutes drive for me and closer for you also for the forest.
And Bratislava is perfect, or anything around Bratislava is kind of perfect for this because Bratislava has the Carpathians mountains. It's a small.
Yeah, it's good. There are so many things to do even for the kids. The only thing to stay in the city is there are two aspects of it. One for the family and one for the person who's working towards the family.
Yeah.
Right. And when there are people, there are opportunities. When there are no people, there are no opportunities, Maximum you can farm. That is one of the greatest thing to do, to be very honest. But when you are already used to stay in such a population and populated area like India or something like this, and suddenly coming to Považská Bystrica, not even in Považská Bystrica, that is in Dolní somewhere in a village. The whole day what you can see is either your family or your face in a mirror. That becomes pretty exhausting for yourself to not see people around. Yeah. And then suddenly when you go back to India and in the extremely crowded area, it's very confusing, Like here, I stay near Ivanka. It's like hardly 15-16 kilometers from here, but it takes me 15 minutes to come.
Yeah.
In India, we stay in Pune, and one of the biggest cities in India, education hub, IT hub, business hub, this, that. And where we stay, from my place to come to main road, which is like 700-800 meters, I take half an hour. From my building to the main road, 800 meters, I take half an hour just to reach the main road. From there to reach any point of meeting, which is like in a vicinity of 1 to 2 kilometers, I take another 1 hour, So now when I go back to India and my family is here, usually I don't even stay at home. Where my work is, I have booked a hotel there. So I stay in a hotel which is hardly 2 kilometers from my home. But just to avoid the traffic and the time delays everywhere, because it's just pathetic. Like you cannot travel for 1 hour to cover up the distance of 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers maximum.
You can walk faster.
No, because on the footpath people ride, so there is no way to walk also. Of course,
they ride on the same way.
Because see, when there is a traffic jam with the cars, okay, where would the bikes go? So they go on a footpath. Then you cannot walk there also because there are bikes on that. But not even bicycles. I'm talking about motorbikes.
Yes.
So it's better just to take a hotel where you are working and stay there. But then I miss my home, staying in a hotel in the same city. I want to go home. Which is 2 kilometers away from where I stay.
This is crazy. We can't even imagine what quality of life we have here.
Yeah.
And complaining about the traffic jams here and.
Yeah, I should stop complaining about traffic in Bratislava.
This happened like last year when we were driving. My wife was coming back home. I was home, and she said, "Oh my gosh, it's such a traffic jam here." I said, "Okay." Next day I was going back with her also, and she said, "See, such a traffic jam, and there were 15-20 cars in front of us." Okay, I said, "20 cars. The building where we stay, we have more than 800 families staying in the same building. Okay, so there are 800 cars in our building." And this is traffic jam of 20 cars. This cannot be a traffic jam. This is just some cars, which are passing. It's okay. Like it will pass by.
Very different. Very different level of experience.
It's amazing, because and when it rains, it's even more conjunctions happening, because
also here.
Yeah, like.
Okay, so what is the life like in your home? Do just people accept that it takes 1 hour to walk 1 kilometer, or?
Eventually it started now, India is an extremely big country, it's not everywhere the way I'm explaining right now, it's not everywhere. It is in my city right now, maybe in Mumbai also, maybe in Delhi as well, but it also depends on the infrastructure, because the city where I belong, it's a very old city and it is supposed to be a very historical city, but eventually as time started to progress, the city started to adopt new things, like infrastructure, metros, buildings, IT hubs, business hubs, like I explained before. So for that, a lot of multinational companies and people, international people, global people, companies, they started to come in the city because the city council, city government was offering good opportunities for the global companies to come in.
Yeah.
They started to come, but there was no infrastructure to grow for the city. The roads, as it was an old city, the roads were narrow lanes, narrow roads. You cannot break people's homes and make the roads wider.
Yeah.
So that is why it is taking time for the city to adapt to the new changes, but eventually it will happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
It takes time, but it will happen.
Once the flying cars come, it will be easy.
Yeah, by that time I hope, like, since last 7 years we are building metros, which is still under construction. By the time flying cars come, they will build the metros maybe.
We already have flying cars. They are called airplanes.
Okay. That's also point of view.
Yeah.
But if you want to go for 2 kilometers, it's not, you have to have also the.
These friends of mine who visited last week in India, from India, there's this thing in Bolt, this such a electric thing on which you stand and it goes.
Micro scooters, yeah.
Micro scooters, So they found it very fascinating, okay? And like we went to Budapest also and we wanted to go for some work. And there's a delegation of 80 people with me, but by car in Budapest also it's quite a traffic jams always. So by car it was showing us 45 minutes, by walk it was showing us 30 minutes. So all of us, we took that tuk-tuk, what you call it, a micro scooter, and we went for work on that. So now when these people are back in India, they all are calling me, "Are, can you get one scooter from me?" But then we were wondering, like, where will we ride it? You need to have a space to go through it also, right? Like you cannot get stuck on that micro scooter in a traffic. It will look so stupid. Yeah. Like on such a small thing also you are stuck in a traffic. Then what is the use of it? So, but this one thing is very fascinating out here. Like people, it's quite spacious. It's quite open. People follow rules, and there's lesser mess, I can say, in Bratislava than what I observe other places.
It's very, very interesting point of view. Of course, comparing even how we maybe expect India to be, we would expect that there are more rules applied here, but also the life is very much different in India. So, by the way, how have you met your wife?
My wife. I have some restaurants. I own some restaurants in Pune, in India, and 2011, 12, 13, I guess it was. And she was a customer in my restaurant. And
Regular one.
no, she visited with a friend of mine, and she was his friend. They met somewhere, and then he took her to my restaurant, and then only once, and then we started to talk because she was with my friend and something like this. And I asked her, where do you stay? So she mentioned one of the hotels which I was associated with. So then we became friends, and then I opened up one more restaurant in 2012, 2013, and then she was managing events for that restaurant. And we were like hardly knew each other for 6 months, and then her visa was about to expire in India. So she came back to Slovakia. I also came back behind her, and it was her grandmother's birthday. Every family member gathered there and everything. That time everyone saw me actually for the first time.
Okay.
When I directly bumped into the grandmother's birthday.
They had to be surprised.
Yeah, they were surprised, like, oh, okay, this guy, who's this guy, and everything. And then I proposed her in front of everyone there. Then we got somehow.
After half a year, you proposed?
Yeah, after half year, 8 months, I proposed. And then we renewed her visa. She came back to India, and we got married in a traditional Indian way.
Wow, how many guests did you have?
Very less guests, like we had some 5,000 people attending the wedding.
5,000 guests on your wedding.
Yeah, but that is considered to be a very small wedding.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah, so people usually they don't invite families to come for the wedding. People usually go to the smaller villages. They approach the main politician of that village, and they give the entire invitation card for the entire village to the politician. Then he distributes it. So I had some around 4,000, 5,000 people doing the wedding.
Do you know these people?
80% of them I knew, 60% of them I knew, 40% of them were my father's friends, their relatives, some relatives which I did not even know by that time they existed. So they all come for the wedding, they wish you and they go back. But my wife somehow did not like it so much because she was so tired, and she said that, what is this? I said, these are the people, they are here to wish us. She said, no, I'm not standing here. So, like after the marriage, usually you have a reception and you stand on a stage in the center, then everyone stands in a line, they come, wish you, gives you gift, and they go back. Uh-huh. So she stood there for 1 hour, and then she said, I'm done, I'm sorted, I'm and people were standing in a line, so I had to run behind her, convince her somehow, and then take her back to the stage, and then we wrapped it up very fast.
It's so funny because I can understand how she felt.
Yeah.
But
no, when we were inviting the people, actually everything we selected, me and my wife, like visiting cards, not visiting cards, invitation cards and other stuff. But then she was under impression only 2,000 people will be there, but eventually 5,000 turned up.
Okay.
So
how do you? Where is the venue? How can you? Where you can?
There are
place
5,000. There are you rent grounds. You don't.
You rent a field, yeah.
You usually rent the field, then you do the setup and canopies and.
You basically do a festival.
It is kind of festival, because then you have stalls of different food items, Indian, continental, traditional food, these food, so people can select what they want to eat and everything.
Wow.
And we have a lot of traditions which goes on in a wedding. It's not one day wedding that okay, you are there, you exchange drinks or whatever it may be, and it is done. No, it is not like that. It's a 5-day festival. So first day,
5 days.
Yeah, it's 4 to 5 days depending on the people. Like some people carry on with their wedding for at least 1 month or something like that. So festivities. There are too many traditions, too many festivities depending on the region you belong to. And then, so for me it was like we started with Sangeet, we call it. Sangeet means it's a music festival kind of stuff. So everyone comes together, they perform, there is a stage, there is a band, there is a vocal artist and everyone. And if some of the members from the families and friends, they want to perform some dance numbers, they perform on the stage, we come down. And it's like a proper, you shoot everything, you record everything. The next day we play Holi, not Holi, but Haldi we call it. Turmeric powder we take, and
Turmeric, yeah?
turmeric powder, and you make it a little wet, like a paste or something like that, or you can play it dry also, and you play turmeric powder like a color. So you throw on each other, you put on each other's face, bodies, this and that, and you just run, catch somebody who's not colored, so put the turmeric on him. The next day there are traditions like you sit almost the whole day, and there are different types of puja. Puja, what does it mean? Puja is you pray to God. So we have this lot of flowers, plates, lanterns, diyas, and a lot of mantras are happening in Sanskrit. Okay. So the priests, Indian priests who are doing the thing in the temples, they come, they perform a lot of Sanskrit words which you don't understand eventually, because that is also not our language, but we do understand a little bit what they are saying. You can connect to it.
Okay.
So we sit for that. The next day there is a marriage ceremony where you stand with the, what do you call it, Varamala, with the flowers and everything, and then you put each on each other, the husband and wife. But for that also there are a lot of mantras to be said before you put it. Then there is a fire, you take 7 circles around each other, taking 7 vows that you will never leave her, always be by her side and everything. And the next day then there is a reception. There's a different set of people come for that. So it's like a 5-6 days festivities which you go on.
I can imagine if you go through such a huge energy investment, then you never leave her, because doing that again.
Yeah, that is one of the part of it. Yeah.
Doing this again, oh my God.
Yeah. No, it becomes actually very tiring. End of the day, you feel like that you're not getting married for yourself, but for the people who are attending it.
Yeah. I can imagine.
But eventually you realize it, but see, these traditions, there are some meanings for that. It is not for the sake of fun only or sake of people you do it. There are some meanings for every puja which is being performed, because Indians believe, not all Indians, so I'm a Hindu. So we believe that there are some mantras which actually put positivity in your life. When the husband and wife, girl and a man, and they're coming together to share the rest of the lives, and which these specific mantras, when they're pronounced for a specific number of times, then it impacts in your life, and then you stay together forever, or you will be happy, healthy, or whatever difficulties are supposed to come in your life, they will be reduced, not eliminated, but at least reduced the intensity. Okay. So a lot of things are there, and each and every aspect has a meaning of it. Why this particular flower, why yellow flower, why red flower. So this priest explain us while performing the puja, why we are doing this and for what reasons. Then you don't mind doing it, because whatever he says, it's all good. Then nothing bad is going to happen. Then why not to invest 2 hours of your life and get it done? No?
True story.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, guys, how many people will you invite to your wedding?
Much less.
I wanted to have 500 people on my wedding. That was my kind of
big wedding.
Yeah, no, I would not say a dream, but that's how I imagined it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's considered a big wedding in Slovakia.
Yeah, 500. Yeah, that I know.
I cannot imagine 5,000 people.
Yeah,
5,000 is still less. That guy who came last week, his marriage, there were 150,000 people.
150,000 people.
Yeah, I was the smallest in my friends group. Only 5,000 people I invited. So for his marriage, there were 150,000 people.
Okay, it's like but 2 small cities in Slovakia.
So for his marriage, they had to not hire a ground, but they went to a stadium, and they had to hire a stadium so that 150,000 people can be accommodated.
That's a very big stadium, though.
And you don't only invite them, you do food for them, you do travel for them, you do staying arrangements in your city for them.
That has to be very expensive, man.
But for that, for Indians, it's kind of one of the biggest events of life. So people usually save for that particular event. When you start to earn, when you know that, okay, my kids are going to get married one day. Now I have Indo-Slovak kids, so I'm not doing that. But
that's an advantage you will save.
Yeah. So, but parents usually save for their kids' marriages or something like that. It's kind of one of the biggest things what anyone could accomplish.
But it sounds like only every second generation can afford it. I cannot imagine here in Slovakia from average salary you could be able to save for an event like this.
Yeah, but this is probably not for average. So
No, but there are cost difference also, no? Like, see, for example, if you're taking a car on hire in Slovakia, in Bratislava, now I use Bolt sometimes. Just to go 10 kilometers, I'm paying 15 euros, you know. To go 10 kilometers in India, if you have a car like Bolt guys are also using here, you don't end up paying more than 3 euros or 4 euros.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a cost difference also so much. So we don't mind hiring a car, you know, we don't mind having a driver, we don't mind having a permanent maid at home, we don't mind having a permanent cook at home. Like back in India, I have a driver, I have a cook, I have a different cleaning person who comes every day, stays there for 6 hours, I have a different person who takes care of the kids. So we don't mind having all these things because it is affordable also out there, you know, and it supports their lifestyle for whatever payment they're expecting from the people who are paying them.
Okay.
So it's not like here if you call a cleaning person at home, they are charging say 15 euros an hour or something like this, you know.
Yeah.
15 euros an hour in India, no one would pay. That is like 7 days of salary for somebody.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in a month they earn 60 euros maybe.
You know what, to be honest, if you're earning say 150 euros and if you have a very simple lifestyle without a car, a normal home, you can survive in 150 euros at home.
Wow.
With the family of 3.
With the
So
family of 3.
Yeah, with the family of 3. With the family of 4, you can have say 200 euros a month and something like that, and you're good. It's not bad.
With 300 euros, you're a king there.
Okay.
Not king, but yeah, you are well to do. You don't have to look back on something that, okay, I wish I could have that. Provided you have a simpler lifestyle. You know, because the basic thing also which I observed here, like the basic ingredients in Europe are very expensive. Like if I go to Tesco, if I go to Kaufland, I end up spending 80 euros minimum to buy a week's grocery. My mother, she still goes every beginning of the month with my father, they go still, you know, together they go, they fill up the ration, we call it, the groceries for the entire month, and it still does not cost us more than 50 to 60 euros. Till now. What you do, you just buy the fresh vegetables every day, like tomatoes. They're like much cheaper than what we are buying in Slovakia. Fresh groceries like cabbage, potatoes. That's very comparatively very less expensive in India.
Yeah. So of course this is it, but also not each family can have a maid or cook.
No, but then you have. The jobs are divided, right? Always between the family members and everything. Not everyone can afford to have a maid or a cook or something like that. But there are also systems like, say you are earning 300, 400, 500 euros a month in India. You know, you can hire somebody who is doing the job for you, comes every day 2 hours, cleans up your house, cooks the food and goes back. So
within the 500 euros salary.
500 euros, this can happen, yeah, and with the car. You know, so this is much more affordable. Okay, like the loans are very expensive in India. The banks are very expensive in India if you want to borrow the money or something like that. But at the same time, you end up also spending less. It is also about the inflation. We do not have that much of inflation in India. So we can afford to stay in 500 euros is like good life you can live. Very good life.
So how does it work there? I've heard that in India there are these castes of people that somebody is like
lower caste, middle caste, higher caste. You know, that was there before, I must say, but I don't see that quite often nowadays. You know, okay, if you go to the rural sides and deeper villages and everything, you might see a little bit of change in that. You know, you might see that there is a lower caste, upper caste system going on. You know, might, not necessarily you should, but it's not there anymore. And this is the perception which so many people has about India, that it's a poor country or it's a dirty country or there's a lot of dust, there is a lot of casteism and everything. No, it is not there. We stay there, you know, and people who are saying that it is still the third world or something like that. We are the third largest economy in the world right now.
And it's fastest
growing economy in the world right now. We are managing 1.6 billion people a year. You know, that is crazy amount of energy, crazy amount of management, crazy amount of politics is going on into that. It is very difficult to manage 1.6 billion people. That is the reason why some things which has to be done at that particular time takes a little bit more time, because everyone comes with a different mentality.
But still in the last 10 years you did almost the same economic growth as China in 30 years.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And so many opportunities are there, so many opportunities. Like, I don't see, like when you are on a road anywhere here in India, mostly in India I see, because I see a lot of people out there. But when you are driving or when you're just standing on the road and you see those millions of people, they're not sitting idle, they're doing something or the other thing. Everyone is running around to earn their livelihood, to earn the money which they want to have with them to provide for their families, for themselves, for luxury, for provisions or whatever it may be. So everyone has something to do. So we cannot never say that, okay, this country has no jobs. People who say that, okay, I don't have a job, means you are not doing enough for yourself. Go find one. Go create one. You need to put in efforts. We cannot blame on somebody else, some politician, that, okay, they did not create the jobs.
Yeah, I totally agree.
We cannot say that.
Yeah, that's crazy good. And everyone has this kind of mindset there?
A lot of them, it's changing. It was not with me either. Like 2020, when the corona hit, we were also hit very badly. There was a time that, like just 4 years back or something like that, I need to ask a friend of mine, can you please offer me some job, some work, because we were doing a lot of media and other things and everything. So restaurants were shutting down, hotels were shutting down.
Yeah.
We were still paying our staff for that matter, even if we were suffering. But why would they suffer? Because our business got shut, right? So we were paying them 6 months salaries for no reason. Just take this and go off your home. You have 6 months of provisions with you so that you can find something else, because I cannot do it right now for you after 6 months. But even I was hit. But eventually when you see that if you cannot help yourself, why are you expecting that somebody else should come and help you out?
Yeah.
You need to stand up for yourself.
With Parkio, we wanted to expand. There is this Europe-Indian cooperation initiative, and we wanted to expand in India. We thought that that there will be an opportunity in a parking space, that it will just develop the
Parking space.
Parkings, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we found a few potential partners from India, of course, online, LinkedIn, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And we were discussing a launch in different parts of India. And usually they were like, okay, look, with us it's good because we know this family and this family takes care of everything here. And and I was like, I did not understand what does it mean, but some people told me that this is the caste system, but in the same time it was like, okay, how can somebody have a business and work properly if there is a caste system, and at the same time who is not connected is connected? It did not make sense. So were they just pretending, or?
No, it is not the caste system, it is the favoritism. Like in India, usually how it happens, in the bigger cities, of course, the parking spaces, because it's one of the biggest businesses, right? Parking, providing parking spaces. So in India also, in orthodox cities or even the bigger cities, governments tried to build the parking spaces. But the issue lies in, I must say this, issue lies in the discipline. Like if I know that there is a parking space next to our park here, and that on that ground, so and I'm supposed to park there, so I will go there and I will park there only. But in India, like if I have to go to this particular shop and if there is no parking, I will not look for the parking. I will just park it there right in front of the shop. And if somebody comes, 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and I'll go to the shop, though I will take there 15 minutes instead of 5, and by that time the traffic jam happens, It is not about the casteism. I don't know who told you this, but this is not the fact. It is about favoritism, and a lot of times when there are parking spaces available, the local politicians who are available there, they get the authority who should operate this particular parking on what conditions.
Okay.
And they already have people, they already know people. So a lot of times they take out tenders, but the tender usually goes to the person who's been doing it since last 20 years. Why, if something is working with one particular person for that particular parking, why that particular politician should look for somebody else to do it? When it is working, it is working. Why you need to change it?
So there is no corruption. It's just they are in favor with for this.
See, favoritism leads to corruption, no? It's interrelated. If I have to sell this glass to you, you are my friend, I will tell you, just take it. But if he comes, I'll tell him 2 euros, But when you take it, I don't know whether you are going to sell to him again for 1 euro or no.
Okay.
It is corruption, it is a part of corruption. So if you are having a favoritism, if you are not having the hierarchy in your particular profession or business, of course it will lead to corruption. And a lot of times people are used to corruption, because their work gets done faster. And it is also the matter of like that, if I'm earning 500 euros and if my expectations and if my greed is like that, I should earn 1000 euros. But the kind of job I'm doing is not going to give me the growth of more than 500 euros. How will I get those remaining 500 euros to provide my leads? So then that leads to corruption. Corruption is always related to the personal greed. It is never related to that one should have everything or something. It all depends on us. Whether we want to limit ourselves or we just want to expand ourselves and have everything in our life.
So your first business was a restaurant, or?
No, I started my life, I did my engineering in mechanical, then I did my MBA in marketing, then I did another MBA, PGDBM in supply chain management, then I again did one MBA in HR, and after having 3 postgraduate degrees, then I was having a side job. I was delivering pizzas for Domino's in India. And
when did you have time to study?
I was actually good in studies, so
Cool.
It was coming naturally to me.
Perfect.
So I used to learn something, I used to remember it, and I used to apply it, And then I had another job in one mechanical company. Then I went into modeling. I was one of the participants in Mr. India in India.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, I won one of the titles also there. Then I did my modeling gig for say 5-6 years, but then eventually I realized that you cannot go on with this fame, or it was not even fame, it was like show business, till what time you can go on. I belong to a very normal family. My family was not that wealthy or something like that it doesn't matter what I do in my life, they will keep providing for me. Then I realized one thing, that okay, till what age you can keep doing this, whatever you are doing, till the time your body and your face supports it. After that, what? Eventually it will stop. Eventually you will become old. Eventually you will need to have some backup. Then I borrowed some money from the bank and I opened up my first restaurant in 2010.
So the studies in the India is it free, or is it you have to pay for it?
You have to pay for that.
You have to pay. Was it affordable, or?
So there are things in India, like you said, casteism. It does not apply when you go for a higher profession or a higher jobs opportunity or something like that. But with the government, because of the political scenario in India, it is still the casteism is there on the paper, not when you're dealing with the people or in a business or something like that. So when you are of this particular caste, you will end up say 100 euros fees for an entire year for the engineering. But if you are not this caste, you will end up paying 150. But if you are the lowest cost, you will end up paying 50 euros only. So there are slabs. And this happened when we got independence 78, 79 years back. They did it because when Britishers left, there was too much of chaos. And everyone wanted their rights, authorities and everything. So eventually it is going to go off, eventually it is becoming less now into the government as well. But yes, there are schools of the government wherein you can get the free education, but people usually do not prefer to go there because, they prefer private schools because you get better education, better people are around and everything, better food is available. But in villages, in rural areas, in smaller cities, we call them taluka, where the population is not
Only 5 million or something. Yeah.
No, 100,000 or something like that. But
That's a village. Yeah.
yeah. So there you have government schools still available where you can get the free, not free, a very cheap education. Like 200 rupees, like 20 euros or 30 euros you pay for a year or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of affordable. So
Yes.
So you went through the studies, and then you were on the modeling career, which was probably very good paid, yeah?
It was well paid, but it was not that well paid as well, because I was not getting opportunities every now and then, because first of all, I was not from one of the backgrounds of show business. I just saw the board there that some competition is happening. It is called as Gladrags India. So it is one of the most prestigious manhunt and girl hunt in India. So I was walking by and I saw the board and I just bumped into the interview and I got selected there. 7 phases were there, so I kept getting selected and I was there on the stage finally. And I won one of the titles. But eventually, there are a lot of things which you are expected to do to be in show business, which me and my values were not allowing me to do. So I skipped it and then I established my first restaurant, then second, then third, then fourth. Then we got into the hotels, then we got into logistic. Then I eventually media I wanted. So in 2013, I established my own media house and I started to produce mainstream films in India. So we produced till now, since 2013, more than 11 films which are released into the theaters. Some are hit, some are average, some bombed at the box office. But eventually you learn into the business, how you get it done, how you earn money out of it, and where to minimize the losses. Because in every business there are 3 stages, right? First, you see how to maximize your profit. If you, over the period of time, if you see that maximum profit is not possible, then you at least see how to average it down. Like whatever I'm putting in, how much whether I can get it back. If that is also not possible, then you see how to minimize the losses.
Yeah.
So these 3 phases you work on: maximize the profit, average it down, and minimize the losses.
So you learned pretty much, and if you say an Indian film or movie, I always imagine this Bollywood.
Yeah. So see, there are more than 20 states in India. Every state has a different language. Every state has its own regional media houses and cinema making process and everything. So Bollywood is one India we are talking about. I was making Marathi, means related to Maharashtra state, which is also one of the 3rd largest states in India at the moment, which is like, I don't know, we have population of more than 25 million people. More than 25 million people are in my state at the moment. More than that, more than 30 million.
Basically people. Nothing.
Huh?
That's basically nothing.
Related to 1.6 billion, that is nothing, no?
That's
so it is a pretty good opportunity to produce those movies also, because you have crowd to cater to. So making films or making any audio-visual content is also like serving in FMCG market. You don't create what you want to create. You create what people would like to see, what people would like to watch, and then
how do you find out about it? Like what do they want to see?
There are patterns, right? So what is the scenario going on at the moment in India, in my state, for example, what is the mentality of people? And you don't see what they will like now, you see what they might like 6 months down the line. Because to complete any movie, you take minimum 6 months, right? Pre-production, production, then post-production, then marketing, then release and everything. So you need to have that team, those set of expert people with you that who will predict that 6 months down the line, this can be the trend in the market. So let's start to work on that.
This is super interesting, guys. So many questions. Do you want to ask something? Because I'm asking all the time.
I was curious, how much taxes do you pay in India?
There are slabs now. Now this year we reformed the taxation. So if you're earning up to say 500,000 rupees, means say 5,000 euros, it's close to like 99 rupees is 1 euro. So close to 100, So when you are earning 500,000 rupees, then you have a different tax slab. When you are earning more than 1.5 million rupees, you have a different tax slab. And then after 3 million rupees, it's a open tax slab that you end up paying, maximum you end up paying close to 35% to 40%. In different forms.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So, but see, taxation is one aspect of life that you go to any country and there are no people in any country who are happy with the taxation of their own country. You go to Dubai, they will say that, okay, before it was free, now they are charging 1.5%. You go to Luxembourg, they will say before it was free, now they are charging 1.8%. You go to India, they will say before it was this, now they are charging this. So we can never be happy with the taxation because we don't want to give.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to give. End of the day, when we come home, we always think that I earn 100 euros. Why the hell I should give government from my pocket 30 euros back? It's like government is partner with me in every business which I do. A sleeping partner with no investments.
Yes. Yes. Just taking.
Yeah, they are taking. They build new roads, then you have to buy stickers because you have to drive on that road. Then why the hell are we paying road taxes? Isn't it covered in that? No, it is not. Like in India also, we have these toll plazas. We buy these stickers and you just go through, right?
Yeah.
In India, we have to buy this. We have to actually stop at every toll plaza and pay physical money or account pay, whatever it may be, at that particular spot. So it starts with 25 rupees. It's 25 cents and it goes up to 5 euros to travel on the road. So everyone gets angry there, but eventually you do not have choice. So why to get angry on that? You are going to use the road. You cannot change the government rules. So it's of no use to get angry on that.
Yeah, that's true.
Just be with that.
So those restaurants and media company, do you still operate it?
I still have restaurants. I still have media company. I also have a education company in which we are providing education to a lot of students globally right now. And I usually then I establish something, then I hand it over to some CEO of mine, and then they take care of the business. Then I again establish something. Then I again get good people with me. Not so many people, but good people who wants to get associated with that. And instead of paying, I prefer to share my profits. Yeah. You work, we earn, you earn, I earn. If I don't earn, nobody earns. So it's hand in hand situation.
How do you find these good people?
You talk about it, you ask around, you meet people, you become friends with them. Once you are friends with them, you know them. Once you know them, then maximum what they can do. Like if you are a friend of mine and if we are inviting you a business of mine and I trusted you, that's why I invited you to be a part of it. If you backstab me, if you take me on a ride, it's my fault because I trusted you. And if you do well, that means it's my good thing, that I trusted you. So either way, it is your decision which matters, not the other person's decisions. You select either right people or wrong people, that is not in your hand. You have to select a person. Then what job they do on that particular field lies in the future, and futures is not ours to say.
Yeah, I just was wondering if you have any flags or if you can pinpoint some
so for example, in the education company which I established last year, in which we are providing global education to the students, then there I am meeting people associated with the education field, ex-professors, ex-deans, ex-chancellors, ex-vice chancellors, and I always like to make sure that I'm taking somebody who is retired from their previous jobs in the same field because of their experience, and somebody new because they bring in the fresh value to the company. So the person, because we should always be answerable to somebody. Even if it's our company, your company, it doesn't matter. We should be answerable to somebody always. Then it works. If you always think that I'm not answerable to anybody, then it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't lead you anywhere. So it is always better that to have that father figure in the company, whom even if you are the owner and even if they are working with the company, you should be answerable to them. Mm-hmm. That being a owner, if I don't do this, that means that guy will ask me the questions and I should be answerable. And if being a founder, if I don't have answers, I will look fool. Yeah. So it's better that whatever you establish, know about it in detail. How you implement it, that is different, because everywhere there are 4 things, in life. First you observe, then you inherit it, and then you implement it. If you do not observe what others are doing, what will you get from them to implement in your job, The most important thing is implementation. Worst thing happens, we fail, but we come to know one way not to do the things around.
Okay.
So you have invited your friends to deal with the healthcare system here, which they operate a huge hospital. It's 4 hospitals, yeah.
They're one of the largest hospital chains. Yeah,
It's they have private and charitable part.
charitable part also. Yes.
Yeah, and they have also medical university, which 8,000 students are attending.
Yeah.
So altogether, I was counting, it was like 4,500 employees they operate.
At any given time in all the premises, there are 45,000 people available working towards that institution.
45,000
Yeah.
working for the institution.
Students, employees, outsourced employees, in-house doctors, visiting doctors, nurses, management team, HR, including all departments, all premises, there are 45,000 people working.
It's a city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a city in India also, like it's like pretty big in India. Very, very big.
Did you know them before, or you got in touch?
No, the promoter of that company, Dr. Yashash Patil, he's one of my best friends in India.
Okay.
And he was also a very regular in my restaurant before. Yeah. So, and I did not know about him that time, that what kind of family he hails from, what kind of business he takes care of, something like that. So I just had opened up one restaurant and new start in the work, new phase of life, because I'm the first one in my entire family line to start a business and not to do a job. So I was still learning, young, energetic, and this and that. So this guy used to come every day to my restaurant, eat that one particular dish and go off. So we became friends, but we never asked what you do, what I do, how much you earn, how much I earn, and everything, because your friends doesn't matter now what you earn, what I earn, and everything.
Yeah.
So one day he was in hurry. One day he was in hurry, and then he told me that, Jay, can you please parcel this dish and send it to my home? I said, okay, but I've never been to your home. You can write down the address at the counter and I will send a guy. That time these delivery systems were not in place anywhere in the world. So he wrote down the address. I packed his dish and I told one of the waiters that send it across, because it was like hardly some minutes away from the restaurant. He went and he came back surprised. He said, sir, what is that person? I said, why, what happened? He said that when you go to deliver him the food, first the security guy comes, he checks what's in the bag. Then the food goes inside and they check your ID, and then they check some poison is there or no, or something like this, Then another gate is there, then you go inside and then you see that, okay, everything is fine. Then they let you go out from another gate and the food goes inside with the third person only. I said, yeah, really? This is what it happens at his home? He said, yeah. So next day he came again, Yash, to my place. I said, what do you do for a living? I said, yesterday my guy was there at your place and he said, a lot of security is there. I said, yeah, we own these hospitals. I said, what? You own those hospitals? They're like crazy. They have stadiums, they have buildings, infrastructure, they are supporting the governments and this and that. And I said, I didn't know. I hit the jackpot, I said. Yeah, so that is all. But we never mixed because his field is completely different. It's healthcare only.
Yeah.
Now we are mixing it because of it's been quite a long that, and we decided, okay, let's do something together now. But we did try to make one movie together, which we did not release yet.
Okay.
He was interested into the field which I was into, media, making movies, and he wanted to be a part of it. So we made one movie, but some few things happened, and it's been now 4 years that we still did not release it. It's
Okay.
still in cans.
Do you wait for the right time?
Yeah, see, when we made the movie, after that the Corona came. Okay. After Corona came, the total mentality of the people changed. They did not want to watch any drama or something like that. They just wanted to go there, be happy and come back. And ours was pretty intense drama in that movie. So we just waited and then the time lapsed. So we will think about it in future now, when to do it.
Okay, one day in the future.
One day,
This is what the story. And I was thinking there is some kind of a cultural thing that if you just invite, you always praise the other people and...
Not always. Like they're one of my very close friends, right?
Yeah.
That's why I did it.
Yeah.
But if there is some kind of business association only, then you invite and you tell them that, okay, whatever it is, you take care of yourself, I'll take care of myself.
Yeah.
It's not always that you take care of some other person. It also depends whether I like you or no. If I like you, then I will not even ask you anything, like whenever we go to some restaurants right now, I always like to pay.
Yeah.
Because I feel good about it. It's not about that I want to bear those expenses. It's never about having expenses. That's a very heavy word to use. It's about when you are with your friends, when you are with your colleagues, even if your friends, some people, or even for that matter, me, I like to pay for it because I feel good about it, and paying for somebody's food is the smallest thing in the world which you can do if you are able to do it.
Okay,
right?
of course.
It's nothing bad in that, no?
Of course. If you can afford it, then you can.
It's not about affording, Mishko. It's about willing to do it. I want to do it. I like it. And there are so many people like me back in India who like to do it. They don't even have money in their pocket. They might take you to a smallest stall to eat or something like that, but they want to host you for that. They feel good about it.
It's very nice.
And this is beautiful, and so. If there is a difference in the level of, for example, income of the people, it's your friends, and even someone is or their friends, and someone is from the has low level of income, and is inviting someone with a higher level of income, but he wants to do it, he wants to pay, and he invites him for a cheaper place. Is it considered all right with the?
Yes, and you will be surprised. There are 90% of the people, I must say, like if you go to some villages also, most of these people, they don't have spare money to buy extra food also, because whatever they're growing in their own farm, they are saving for themselves for the rest of the year, and they're eating out of it, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're going to their place, they might have only say 4 breads available in their house and 4 people. But if a guest comes, they will share half of their bread, and they will make sure that the guest is eaten enough, he has eaten well. Because most of the Indians, they like this hospitality. They like to treat people well, they like to greet them well. The first thing we will ask whether you want water. People in restaurants in Europe, usually they don't ask you water.
Yeah.
But even in the 5-star hotels you go in India, first thing they will ask, would you like to have some water? The basic thing, Then they will ask you whether would you like to eat something, even at home or, restaurants, so of course, but even at home, we offer food. Would you like to eat something? If they say no, we force. Please eat. Please eat. We are already eating, we are making food, so I will make for you also. Or no, I am hungry, I'm not hungry. No, you stay and eat. We say, we make sure that they're well fed,
I would be so fat.
No, my mother-in-law also, first time when she came to visit us at the time of marriage, my mother made so many dishes, everything, and she was eating this one. I said, what are you doing? Eat well? No, I'm saying. I said, no, eat, you have to finish full. So, yeah, we like to greet well, it's a good feeling about it, that because of me, the other person is happy.
I have also very similar feelings when I invite someone, and also I think in Slovakia it used to be like this, no? The people were we used to say bread and salt. Yeah, and so even if the families did not have anything to offer, they offered at least bread and salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice.
It was
it's a gesture, like we are sharing what we have.
There is also a fairy tale. It's called Sol na zlato. Salt about gold.
Salt about gold.
Above gold.
Salt above gold,
Because
something like that we also
if you don't have salt in your food, it doesn't taste.
Yeah, nowadays people are living salt because of the diet and everything.
Yes, that's your story.
And if you go to your grandma's place, she will also force you to eat.
She used to, unfortunately, she passed away 2 weeks back, but
Okay.
Actually, yours you're talking about.
What?
Your grandma you're talking about.
Any grandma.
Any grandma in the world,
Every grandma.
They make sure that you have to become fat. And you lose some fat and they will say, oh my gosh, your mother is not feeding you or what? Yeah.
So how was it for you? You stayed with your wife in India for how many years?
Since we are married. In India, you mean?
India.
Till 2021, from 14 till 2021.
7 years.
Yeah.
And then you came here.
Yeah.
How is it, the cultural change for you?
It's pretty big actually. It's pretty big, about, I can say acceptance also, about different types of people in smaller regions. Like, Žilina, the type of people are completely different than in Bratislava. Like, people in East are more welcoming than the West.
Okay, yeah.
This is the difference which I personally felt, like.
That's true story.
Here in Bratislava, like, I used to take the car which is registered in Pavashka. They used to see the car, oh, he's from there. So, that's, but we don't care about that. Nobody cares about that. But still, there is a difference. And it is not there, it's not a problem also. It's about upbringing. It's about the culture where we are staying, what the surroundings are and everything. The person is never bad. It's about the surroundings which we have.
The environment.
Yeah. We behave the way our surroundings are. In India, you will feel it completely. You will also feel a lot of difference in India. Like, not everyone is so welcoming. Some people might just not like you, just because you are from the same field or same college, or you were the favorite of the teacher or something like this. It's everywhere. It's about we getting adjusted to our own surroundings. We like it. Because I always tell people, like, if you and me are knowing each other, if you don't like me, it's not my problem, it's your problem. Because you don't like me, you go solve it. Then we can talk,
Treat yourself.
Yeah. I am not going to change. If you don't like me, it's your problem.
Actually, that's very hard to understand for many people.
Yeah, and people, like in today's world, the way we are living, everyone is trying to please somebody, I want to buy a Mercedes. Why? Because we have to ask ourselves whether I want a Mercedes or I want others to see that I have a Mercedes. I want to have a bigger house. I want a big house, or I want others to see that whether I have a big house or no. So we are just wasting our time showing off things which we don't even need. Just stick to your need.
Maybe don't even like.
Yeah, maybe we don't even like, There's a difference between need and want. It's always there.
Yeah.
What we need and what we want. If you need, you need to have that. If you want, if you have spare, just have it. What's wrong in that? But just don't push yourself just because others will feel happy about you.
So if you when you started your entrepreneurial journey, what kind of surroundings or environment did you put yourself in to succeed?
No, I was very naive, I must say. Like, my first entrepreneurial journey was with a restaurant, right? I borrowed a good amount of money from the bank to establish a restaurant in a better place in Pune, and this and that. And first 2 years I failed miserably, like very bad, very, very bad. Like, I was not even doing close to what others were doing. But eventually you learn, I did not have licenses. So police used to come, trouble me. Then me, my manager, we went to the police station multiple number of nights in those 2 years.
They locked you in?
Yeah. So because we did not have licenses.
Okay.
But we did not know we need those licenses because we were so young. And we just borrowed money in that flashiness that, okay, we will have our own restaurant, then there is nothing less. We will just do good business. But then once we put in all the money from the bank, then we realized that how to run it now. But then we started to learn step by step, because I do not come from the hospitality background. I'm from the mechanical background. But now I do not know mechanical background, but do know hospitality because I learned through the process. So, but eventually you learn. Then eventually you learn how to make money out of selling butter chicken and everything. Because selling one butter chicken does not make you money. Selling multiple butter chickens at multiple locations might make you money. So it's always the probability you work on. It might happen, take a chance. It might happen, take a chance. It might happen, take a chance. So we started to take chances. We started to establish more outlets around our city and everything. Then we realized how the money is made through the process. First 3 years, 1,000 days we should give to our business to see whether the business can give us back or not. If you give up before 1,000 days, then don't even start it.
Okay.
1,000 days is the minimum we should invest time-wise in any business which we see that might become big.
So how many, do you have a network of restaurants now?
Pardon?
Do you have a network of restaurants?
We do have 6 right now.
6 restaurants.
Yeah, 2 hotels, 6 restaurants. We do have a transport company in which we run a couple of trucks, cars. We have this education company, then multiple other things we keep doing. I invest good in stocks as well. I trade in NSE, BSE and DAX. I do not do it in US markets, but I do trade in DAX and Indian stock markets.
Why did you choose these markets?
It happened in Corona. There I realized stock market was there even before I was born, and it is going to be there even after I die. And if I make money out of it, it's my skill. If I lose money out of it, it's my problem. There is nobody to blame on. I cannot tell anybody that why you didn't get that customer. We lost on the profit. No, it is my 100% skill which is in the game. It's my investment. So I need to take care of it particularly. And if you do systematic investments in good strategies, it gives you returns. It 100% gives you good returns. But the problem of a lot of people is like that, they want to become rich very quickly. So that quickly word kills all the dreams. Everything, whatever I've observed is the process. You start something, you learn, you fail, you learn, you fail, and eventually you find that one point which makes you money.
Okay, so you don't hold these stocks, you do daily trading, yes?
No, I don't do daily. I used to do daily, and I earned good money. I lost good amount of money, but I again earned it back. But see, daily trading, it's intraday trading. You need to sit there focusedly, and you just need to do that. You cannot do anything else.
Yeah, it's like full-time job.
It's a full-time job, and eventually it's a very high risk, high reward ratio in the intraday trading. But I wanted something steady. I wanted something for long term. I do not want money to earn today and buy an iPhone. No, I want to put money now, and I will see in maybe 10 years, 20 years.
Okay, I understand.
There will be a good returns. There will be, of course.
So is it the dividend strategy or exit strategy or capital gains strategy like you're working on? Like do you invest in stocks which produce dividends that you earn yearly?
So there are some stocks which I select which gives me good dividends every year. So there are stocks which gives you dividends in Jan, there are stocks which gives you dividends in Feb, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So I have selected some stocks and I invested substantial amount of money into those stocks which gives dividends in Jan. Then some stocks which gives in Feb. Then some
So
stocks
we have a salary every month.
So I have to make sure that it doesn't matter whether that stock goes up or down. I get my fixed income as a salary from the dividends. Then I invest into the stocks which I see a good potential, which has good PE ratio, good profit earning ratios and everything, and then I invest in them gradually. So I invest X amount of money, then I see how the stock is moving, then I invest another X, then another X, then I put my cap. But if there are some stocks which I've been investing since last 4 years every month, which I think are going to grow exponentially and can become, not multi-bagger is a very bad word to use, but they can become a blue chip stocks, they are there to stay. But I read a lot about financial backgrounds about these stocks. If I don't trust the company, and usually, you buy the stocks which you use daily. I drink water, so why not to invest in some water company? I need to buy a car. Which car I might think of? Then invest in those stocks, because those, if I'm thinking about to buy that car, that company, that means other people are also thinking. That means the growth is there. Yeah. So usually invest in the things which you use daily. I use this watch, I use these clothes. Invest in those stocks and make sure that whatever you're buying of that particular company, that company is only paying for itself.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's actually also my strategy, or if I do give it advice people to invest. It's based on the book, The Intelligent Investor.
Oh, that's an awesome book. Amazing book. Amazing book, yeah.
Benjamin Graham.
Yeah.
I already recommended it to you, probably. Maybe you read it.
Already?
You read it?
No, I forgot about
I have it if you want. I can borrow you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an outstanding book.
Amazing one. And basically that's what he says there. Like it's so difficult, the whole investment thing. But if you have a feeling you want to have a new iPhone, then just buy the stock first.
Yeah. It's from there only I learned.
Yeah. And I actually, but that's what I did. I wanted to buy a new Mac. I bought first stock. Apple stock. Then so if I can afford it 2 times, then I buy it.
Exactly. I follow the same thing. If I want to buy a phone, if I can buy it right now twice, then buy it. Otherwise, don't buy it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing strategy. It works. And it all happened. I started to read these books also because of my wife. I was never into reading the books or something like that. And she has such millions of books at home. We don't have television at home. but we have millions of books, and she makes sure that she reads it for the kids and I read it for the kids. Then I got used to it, and then she bought me first book, and she was like, where do you spend your most of the time? I said, in bathroom. Of course, every man spends most of his time in bathroom. So she started to keep books there, so know everything and keep the books there, and that is how I got used to it. So all the credit for whatever I am doing better in my life actually goes to my wife.
And never met her, but I already like her a lot.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's an outstanding mother, outstanding wife, and she is just amazing the way she manages everything. Outstanding. I was not expecting it that I will get such a good wife,
Amazing. Wow, it's a beautiful story. Does she have a younger sister or something?
She has a younger brother.
No problem.
Maybe next time. Not sure about it. Okay, cool. I have also quite a big library at home, but it's very difficult for me to read. So
Yeah, and since we have bigger library at home and no television at all, since I'm married, since we have our first child, we never had a TV at home. And then I realized, like in one of the books only I read, Ikigai, never trust the people whose television is bigger than their library. So then I realized that how important reading books are, it just keeps you occupied. Not necessary you should finish it.
Yeah.
Just start reading it. You will understand, you will get ideas, All ideas starts with the reading books.
it's amazing. This is a huge message, and we should emphasize it a lot.
But you didn't read those books before you met your wife?
No.
So, but you mentioned these different.
She taught him how to read.
No, I knew how to read.
You mentioned these different kind of businesses like restaurant, transport company, media house. So it sounds like you have a natural talent for doing business.
No, I must say that it's not a natural talent for doing business. I do not know how to run a business, to be very honest. Maybe you can say that it's not a natural talent, but it's the overgrown talent. But I would like to take the risks. I will take a risk.
Okay.
Because I have this mentality that worst case scenario, it will fail.
Okay.
It is not going to kill me, right? So if I'm still standing, that means I can still make it possible. So do it. If it happens, it's good. Otherwise, at least you will not regret that you never tried it.
But also you studied these MBAs studies, which were like HR, marketing,
Supply chain.
Supply chain. It's amazing. How long were the studies like?
I was doing it all simultaneously. I did it in 2 years of time, 3 postgraduate degrees. And I was doing it simultaneously because that time the only agenda which I had in my mind that some bigger company should absorb me. I should get a good job and everything or something like that. But I turned into the media, and then job persuasion took a backseat in my mind. But eventually, I started to like it. That, a lot of people think that earning so much money in life is very important, but why? That is the thing, I tell a lot of friends of mine also who are very wealthy, come from a very good families and everything. Earning so much money you should be able to earn your freedom.
Yeah.
Not the things which will matter, because there is no thing in the entire world which you will buy now in any kind of mall and will still have a value for you 6 months down the line.
Yeah.
It will not. But what you do today will still have the memories with you for the rest of your life. You will cherish that, So that is most important, to keep exploring everything.
Yeah.
Keep doing things. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, you are not meant for it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's easy to say, harder to do for a lot of people.
No, but I also come from a very, very normal family. We used to stay in one-room kitchen till the time my teenage or something like that. We had hardly 3 plates at home, in which one was a steel plate in which my father used to eat, and 2 were plastic in which me and my mother used to eat. And the third one came when my brother was born and everything. The first car in my family came when I was 19 years of age, 20 years of age. That was the first ever car for the entire family. We bought the small one, So it is not about easier to say for somebody. It is difficult to say for somebody. It is easier for somebody to say because they make it look like easy. It is of course difficult. It takes a lot of toll on you. It takes too much of energy out of you, too much of peace out of you and everything. But if you want to live happy, then you are happy the way you are right now, right? Like there is a saying, like US president was crossing the road, he saw a farmer sleeping in the farm, and he stopped the convoy and he asked him, what are you doing here? He said, I'm relaxing, I'm having a good time right now. He said, no, you should work more. He said, why? You should grow more farms, more crops and everything. He said, what will happen? Then you can go to the bigger markets. Then what will happen? You can sell it for higher prices. Then what will happen? Then you will have so much money. Then what will happen? Then you can relax. And he said, then what am I doing now?
Yeah, I know this story. It's awesome.
So it is all about our own perception, what we want to do and how we pursue it. That's all.
But you have to have balls to be happy in life.
It takes balls to be happy?
Yeah, I think so.
Then I'm so happy.
I know. I know a few people which have a lot of money and
no balls.
other people which don't have a lot of money, and the people with money are not happier. The people with balls are happier. Because they have the power to say, yes, I am happy here right now with everything I have. I don't need anything more.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm
the
happy.
grass is always greener on the other side, right?
Yeah.
If you ask the happier person, he said that, I wish I could have that BMW. Yeah. If you ask the BMW guy, I wish I would be happy like that guy. The grass is always greener on the other side. Nobody in the world can be completely happy. Nobody.
Oh, I wish I could afford shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish then I could be like you also.
Yeah, welcome.
Just happy.
Yeah. I just came back from Ukraine. I was there last week, and it was very, very learning experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
And some people asked me, like, aren't you afraid to go there or something? And I was like, no, I'm just, like, ready to die. Like, I've lived my life. I've learned so much. I had so much difficult and also happy occasions and experiences. Like, I'm living full. Maybe I can be living even more fullest, but fuller. But I'm just like happy. It's all right. I'm not scared. And it's a bold statement to be ready to die, but I felt it like that. Then I came to Kiev, and there was this first siren sound.
You heard that?
Yeah, it's two times a day, or even 4 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like feeling all right, and it did not cause any feelings in me. I'm like, okay, what now? And there was this guy, and he with me, my business partner, and he said like but you should be outside or in the metro, because there are only two safe places. Because if you're in the building and the rocket comes, the building collapses and falls on you. And then I was like, okay, it is what it is. Came to the hotel. It was like midnight, and suddenly there was the siren.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, this rocket hits the hotel, and it collapses on me. Oh, fuck, this is such a shitty way to die.
Yeah.
Suddenly I had this fear in me, and I was like, oh, okay, let's walk it out. I went to the lady on the reception, and I asked, okay, so there is a siren, and she was like, why are you asking? Yeah, there is a siren. Like, okay, so you don't care? No, but if you want, you can go to basement. The hotel has a basement. I was like, so nobody was scared or caring about it. I was like, okay, I'm going to sleep, and problem solved. But even though we think we are ready, we are not ready for anything. But to act on it will make you less scared. Anything you do.
That's true. That's very well put.
I remember when you told me we were calling when you are driving to Ukraine. You told me you are ready to die. I understood you, but I didn't agree with you, because I have this awesome life. I love my life, but I don't think I'm ready to die, because if I would have a second life or a third life, it still would not be enough for me. That there's so much to explore in this world. Why should I say I'm ready to die? I'm never ready. I
haven't seen everything.
I always want to see more, explore more,
experience. Yeah, of course.
Experience more.
I can completely understand, and of course you don't want to die, and when the act of dying comes, you will probably not be ready.
Yeah.
Then
So-
you give up the thought.
Yeah. It's just a bravery, but when the shit happens, then
Yeah.
you will shit yourself probably.
Then you.
Shit yourself probably. And of course, I want to live an experience and everything. Just I already live certain period of my life. Like I have enough. I'm working for more. I don't need shoes. I don't need anything more. I have enough. I'm happy what I have, but I'm of course trying to achieve more and make more people happy and so on. So maybe this mindset just develops this answer like I'm ready to die because I have enough. But anyway, I'm continue working.
Maybe it's not about having enough, but loving the process.
Oh
Yeah.
exactly.
And I don't
I
want
mean,
the process to end.
Rightly said. Exactly rightly said. Yeah.
Exactly.
Loving the process.
Loving the
Yeah.
process. I love the process. It's perfect. If
Yeah.
it stops suddenly somewhere,
Yeah.
okay.
But I don't want it to stop, you know.
Of course you don't want it because you love the process. I have goosebumps, by the way.
Very rightly said. The process is amazing. Yeah. Not the result.
And if you are like, I have these moments when I see I want this Mercedes, I want this Rolex watch, I want a bigger house, everything. But if you are like deep in process, you don't need anything. You are happy in the moment,
Yeah.
and that's awesome.
That's just a desire which comes out, and a lot of people will do anything to get those desires done, like in Sanskrit there is a very well saying. It goes like dugdam pashyati marjaro na tatha laguda hatim. It means when a cat is drinking milk and if she closes her eyes she thinks that nobody is watching her. So a lot of people act like that, like they just close their own eyes and they think that nobody is watching them, how they are doing, what they are doing and everything, but eventually everyone is observing something. And they are acting according to their own conscience then.
It's interesting point of view. Can you maybe elaborate more on it? It's like should we think that we are watched or should we
See, we are always watched, no?
Yeah.
By anyone.
Yeah, the
If
God
you
is
have a
watching.
family, your kids are watching you, how you're as a father you are doing. If your wife is watching you, how as a husband you are doing. Your neighbors are watching you, how you are doing as a neighbor or something like that. We are always being watched and judged upon whatever we are doing. But end of the day it should only matter to us and our own well-being and our thinking and our conscience that what we think is right, because everyone in the world, what I think is right at their own point of view. If I ask you why you don't wear shoes, you have your own point of view.
Yeah.
I might think that this is not a good idea, but for you it is the right idea.
Yeah.
You ask me why you grow your hair, I think it is good. For you it might be wrong, but for me I'm thinking it is good. So everyone has their own point of view in which they are comfortable and they think that they are doing the right thing for everyone. It all depends on the masses how they judge us and whether we should let it affect us. If it affects us, that means we should never start it in the first place.
Yeah.
Others' judgments should not matter to us so much the way we can think about ourselves, right?
Yeah, I agree. But on the other side, the world would be a better place if everyone acted like their mother was watching them.
Yeah.
My mother is always watching me.
Yeah, mothers do that. Now AI will do that. I was just telling this joke to somebody 2 days back. It is called as AI, artificial intelligence. In Marathi, to a mother we called AI. AI, AI only, so we call our mother not I only with the love, but mothers are the best friends also, right? So we call AI, so AI and AI in Marathi sounds pretty similar and they know everything because mothers know everything, They're always watching you.
She knows definitely everything.
Yeah.
They know this sense for gathering data.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's very scary, like how AI is getting developed. I did not know how to use mobile banking app for the last 3 years, till 3 years back. And now the way people are working with AI, digitization and everything, it's outstanding.
moving forward. They say there will be a first billion-dollar company with only one employee.
Yeah.
One man employing AI, So we'll see.
It will eat up a lot of jobs, but
They say that jobs will develop to different.
it will evolve.
Yeah, it will evolve. That people will be using more of their brain power to do more creative jobs. But actually, that was what I learned. I've studied this MIT Sloan management course for AI, and they were basically saying that the highly repeatable jobs will be changed first, but then the ChatGPT came, and mostly the creative jobs were endangered. So you never know where is the truth.
Yeah, but ChatGPT doesn't do a good work in creative jobs, I think. We tried with Michael to create a logo for this podcast, and it's not the kind of work you could sell,
Huh?
It's like if you are you want, you can use it, but it's not the kind of work anyone would pay for.
Maybe we did not prompt it properly.
Yeah,
We are working in marketing, and ChatGPT is not able to replace us yet. Not creative enough. Not understanding people's mind in marketing. Not able to sell the thought to the people on the
because
side.
human beings are still working on emotions.
Yeah.
And
It likes
it
emotion.
cannot catch the emotion of the people. It can just evaluate the data what is been fed to it.
Yeah.
But like you on working on the floor with people to people, you know their emotions. If you know that okay, he wants to buy this glass or he doesn't want to buy the glass, ChatGPT will just come and try to sell it to him.
Yeah.
Like that.
If you want a proof that AI isn't good enough, just type to her to tell you a joke. It cannot make you smile, sincerely.
Or maybe you don't understand AI jokes.
Okay, maybe.
I don't know. We can try it actually. But I asked it to make some funny questions
And
for some guests, and they
were not funny. They were not funny. They were not
They were
useful.
not funny.
There were only questions, not funny, not useful.
But actually, from the beginning, when we started doing the Build podcast, few of them were funny, and when I
No,
tried
they were
it
not
last
funny. I was sitting there with a face palm like this, waiting till you end these funny questions part of interview.
Maybe only ChatGPT was laughing in the background. I made such a funny question.
maybe I was too excited about it. So. Yeah. So
You guys ever visited India before?
no,
No, never.
You wish to?
it's my plan.
I was never thinking about it, to be honest.
No, it never crossed your mind?
No. I was imagining India like you said, like
street with no sidewalks.
lot
Yeah,
of.
but that
lot
is
of-
also, I also said that is one of the cities I'm saying. Not everywhere in India. It's a beautiful country. It's an outstandingly beautiful country.
Okay.
Like we go to Goa I told you also last time, like we go to Goa, beautiful place, amazing beaches, serene environment, and we have mountains, we have Himalayas, we have ice, snow, heat, everything is there in one particular region. And I really think that in coming few years that India will be extraordinarily amazing, because the way it is growing right now, not only in terms of the development of the infrastructure and the companies and other stuff and something like that, but also about the human behavior, because people are not willing to change their values just to get rich. They are still sticking to it. So it is such an amazing mix at the moment. People are trying to earn, not living the values. So you see that mix of both the emotions out there and something like that. You should visit India once. Okay. I tell this to everyone, by the way, not only to both of you, three of you, but to everyone. Like India is the place you cannot complete it seeing. Even 1 year is not sufficient. I haven't seen the entire India as of now. Most of the portions, not even 50%, I must say.
It's a huge country, 1.6 billion of inhabitants.
And like someone should really try to stay there, because it becomes so, I don't know how to explain that, because life is easy there. Life is much more easier in India. For example, if I want to keeping healthcare, which we've been working on to the side, but if I want to buy, I'm hungry in the night at 11 o'clock, I want to eat something, the restaurants are closed here. But 11 o'clock is the restaurant starts in India, in maximum places, and the light starts there. You want to eat some or buy a watch at 4 a.m. in the morning. There are shops which are open at 4 o'clock in the morning.
But it's huge cities, yeah?
No, everywhere in India I'm saying. Even in villages, you just go to the shop, that guy is sleeping, you knock on it and he said, I am sleeping, the shop is closed right now. I just needed it very urgently, can you please open it? He will open the shop, he will give it to you and then he will close it again. It's not like that. For example, if something I have to buy here, I have to go to Tesco. So to buy just a gallon of milk, I need to drive 15 minutes, I need to park for 5 minutes, I need to walk in Tesco to the backside for another 10 minutes, then I waste 1 hour to buy one packet of milk. In India, you can just call somebody, hey, you are coming, on the way, just get 1 pack of milk. And in 5 minutes, it will be there. The life itself is very easy in India.
What's the one thing from India, if you could bring to the whole world, what would it be?
The first of all, I would say the values, we are not losing the emotions at all.
Okay.
In the rest of the world, I have seen people in most of the Western countries, they are just becoming very robotic. 9 o'clock it starts, 10 o'clock it finishes, 9:30 I need to be there, 9:53.5 I have a bus. When everything is so systematic, it becomes very robotic and eventually it becomes very boring.
Okay.
When I have a friend in India, his name is Život, and he's a Dutch citizen. We had opened up a couple of restaurants together. So that time I asked him 10 years back that why did you leave Europe? It's so systematic, it's so clean, the weather is so good. Now it is getting very hot, of course, but the weather is so good and everything. Why did you come to India? He gave me one very good answer, and that answer actually stuck with me till now. He said, first of all, India geographically is very big. The bigger country leads to a bigger population. Bigger population leads to a less control of the government on individual basis of the people. When there is a less control of the government, there is chaos. And in chaos, there are opportunities.
Okay.
And in opportunities, you find your happiness. Whether you work or you stay at home or you do whatever you want to do, because there is a chaos. When everything is systematic, you have no options but to follow. Right? Like I was getting curious when he said that 2 o'clock he was downstairs, and okay, I'm coming. And there was a turn from Eurovia, that was some work is going on, so the taxi took another turn. It was another 2 minutes. So I told him 2 minutes more. In India, I would say that, okay, wait for half an hour, I'll be there. I'll be there in half an hour. And then when I say half an hour, that means 15-20 minutes here, there. Maybe 15 minutes early, maybe 15 minutes later.
Okay.
But everything, that is good also, everything is systematic, that is good also to follow protocols in life. But everything according to the rules gives you lesser emotions. It keeps you, it makes you little emotionless, because it is going to happen at that time, whether you do it or not.
I thought you are emotionless because you are not getting angry.
Who, me?
No, when you wait on somebody and he is late.
Because you accepted it already, that somebody is going to be late or not late.
Okay,
So there are different types of things you can accept in India, whether it will happen or it will not happen. Here at 10:53, the bus does not come. Oh my gosh, this country, oh my gosh. In 1 minute, people start to get irritated.
Yeah.
And we are just chilling there, have you ever observed, we can waste half an hour of our life everywhere in the world, but it becomes too irritating to wait at the signal for 2 seconds, or 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
Why this signal is taking ages and ages to become green? It's very frustrating out there, it's the same way, because the way we live our life, we cannot have everywhere rules. Wake up at 7 o'clock, do this at 8 o'clock, do that at 10 o'clock. We're not robots, for God's sake. We have emotions. We tend to change things. And we change things, we think it is right, it is not right, okay, let's do something else.
Yeah, but for progress, you need the system, no?
I'm not talking about progress, I'm talking about only emotions right now.
Emotions, okay.
Yeah. For progress, of course, it has to be there. Follow the rules, follow the timelines, follow the things, ideation, everything has to be there, for progress, business, work, it is extremely good, which we lack in India. But for the emotion's sake, I was saying, as a human being.
And but is it hard to difficult to adapt when you come to Europe, or
Not now. Before, yes, it was.
Yeah.
Because before, when I used to catch trains, say for example from Prešov to come to Bratislava, and the time said 10:26, it will leave, I used to arrive 5 minutes. But then train really used to go at 10:26, whether people are there or no. Because in India, like for example, if there are buses going on, like there are buses from here to Austria to Hungary and everywhere, they also have such odd timings, 10:27, it will leave. So whether people are in the bus or they are not in the bus, it leaves at 10:27, which is a good thing also, amazing thing. I was not used to it, na. I was in like India, like okay, 10:27 means 10:30. It will leave at 10:30. When people are not there in the bus at 10:30 also, bus still waits. If the people come, what if they miss the bus? So the bus waits. Here nobody waits. They just leave. It was difficult to adjust to these things before, but even then, like I said, eventually everything happens. Eventually everything falls in place. You learn, you adopt, you evolve, and you keep going on.
And with your wife, in your relationship, do you feel some cultural differences, and does it somehow affect you?
She's not surprisingly, she is like that, but she's very adoptive. She adopted amazingly in India. They stayed for a few months in Goa also. So they adopted the Goan way of living. She adopted the Maharashtrian way of living. She adopted my family's way of living. Now they are in Slovakia. She's Slovak, of course, but before it was difficult for her. After so many years spending in India, when she came back to Slovakia to stay, to Slovak also she started to talk in English, because she was not used to it, and then it was difficult for her to find the words in Slovak.
Yeah.
But then she got used to it. But she is outstanding, as I said. She adopts and she keeps going on. She's amazingly creative, so she keeps herself occupied with all her creativities. She's an outstanding photographer. She creates a lot of content, not for the media or something like that, but for herself, and she's into her world. Like she makes things which makes her happy, and eventually she attracts those people around her who are like her, which is an amazing thing from her to learn. And my kids are becoming like her, and I'm very happy that my kids would have never got better mother than her right now. She takes care of 3 kids I have: Agastya, William, and Isabel, youngest. And home birth we did. I was scared, but then she pushed me, and then she said, then I also started to flaunt with my friends that I did the birth, But it was very scary for me in the beginning, but she pushed me and she told me everything. While giving birth, she told me, if something like this happens, what you should be doing. So she was guiding me while giving birth also. Extremely strong, very amazing, I can say.
We have something for strong women. I will tell you after the podcast if she would see the podcast, so she doesn't.
I will show her. I will tell her, like the link. I will tell her.
Good, perfect. This is amazing, and I completely understand when you said that she attracts the people like her, because when you see people who are involved in something which they really love and they're doing it, this kind of people unite. There is pure happiness and joy created.
Sometimes when these kind of people are sad, that you start blaming yourself that because of you maybe you did something wrong, that they are sad, because these people are actually never sad. They're into their own world, happy zone. I'm not saying into their own world or something like that happy zone. And my kids are also are like her. Most 3 of them. They like to create things. They like to play around. They like to explore different things. They like to go for this kashka, I don't know what you call it. Geocaching is there. So like that they just go to nature every time. But they are becoming like her, which is a very good thing, which I say, I don't want kids to surround themselves only with the work related things, which people get burdened with, that okay, we have the responsibilities, so we should be doing it, but they are very happy at the moment, and all the credit goes to my wife, the way she's taking care of the family.
It's very nice to hear someone talk so nicely about his wife.
Yeah.
But you doing business daily, do you feel happy about it?
No, I don't so much. I have to travel a lot between countries, and I am trying to reduce it now. Since last 2 years, I've been too much shuffling. 15 days in Slovakia, sometimes in Austria, sometimes in India. In India, also not at one place. I fly continuously in India also, but I'm in the process right now to reduce the workload, to divide the workload, and give it maximum authorities to the people who are working with me, and reduce my workload so that I can spend more time with my family and kids. I am in the process right now. It will happen. It is taking time. All good things take time, right? But eventually it will happen.
True story. Good luck with that, and I hope it will happen as soon as possible.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yala, they say.
What's the best thing your father taught you?
I tell this to everyone. He told me, don't play cricket, play badminton.
Oh.
There's a reason behind it, Cricket is a very famous game in India, and badminton is not that famous. Very less people opt to play badminton and something like this. So when I was asking my father, this particular work I want to do in my life, but there is such a competition, what should I do? So he gave me this advice: don't play cricket, play badminton. You can become a captain of a team, because if you're playing cricket, it's a hidden message in that. If you're playing cricket and if you want to be in an Indian cricket team, there are 1.6 billion people who wants to be in that 11 team members. But if you play badminton, there is nobody. Just point out anybody and nobody wants to play badminton. You can become the captain of the team and represent your country. So find something which is unique. Find something in which you will be also good at and lead that particular profession. That's the best advice which my father ever gave me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now we can finish.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
One more thing. The Indians, they do this with their head.
Yeah.
What does it mean?
There are different meanings. This means your nodding means okay, I understand. Okay, you're talking. Okay. When somebody asks you, do you want that? You do this also. This means nodding means no.
Like our ano, shaking hands.
Ano, yeah. But ano also means I understand.
Also, okay, I understand.
This means no, negative answer.
Or
This
no.
means, I don't know, I'll see,
Okay.
So,
I was just say, so you're making an number 8
Yeah.
in your head is like,
I don't know, I'll see, I'm not sure about it or something like this, But all the meanings depends on the situation.
Okay.
What are you saying? Like if somebody is doing behind your back and you just tell him like this, that means you're watching them, and you don't want them to do that particular stuff. So they understand it, but Indians do understand what the nod means at that situation.
So if you watch them and you shake like our ano a little bit, then you can say they understand you're watching them.
Yeah.
Right.
It's international, I think.
Yeah. But when we were in the meetings, people were saying regular stuff, your friends, and sometimes they did this number 8 with their head.
No, that means they're in the situation.
They're in the situation.
Yeah, they're like this. That means they're thinking and trying to analyze what the other person just said.
Okay.
So I said you cannot do so many movements with your neck, right? Like this, or 8 or something like that. But it all depends on the situation what we are in. And we are so used to it now to see and to observe that we know what the other person means when he does some kind of nod.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you very much. That was something on my mind for a very long time. I wanted to understand now. Now I do. Maybe I will start using it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good. Thank you so much, guys, for having me here. It was nice talking to all of you.
Thank you.
And send me the link. I will share it with my friends also.
Yeah.
You can send it to all 5,000 people who went to your
wedding.
Yeah, I will make a list who actually gave me the gifts and who did not. And that is another reason we invite so many people, because you get so many gifts.
Okay.
But then some people are so smart, they get a bouquet. What are you going to do with the bouquet? Like a flower? Like what?
Yeah, it's a lot of gifts. And 5,000 people. It's very interesting, and I would love to sometimes in the future maybe see such a wedding.
It scares me.
Yeah, now
maybe if I go to India
Mm-hmm.
and I found some beautiful Indian girl there.
Yeah. They're very pretty with the sari and everything what they wear. We call it Shringar. Shringar. S-H-R-I-N-G-R. Shringar. You know, it means a woman is getting ready to look beautiful, you know. But not the makeup and something like that, but they wear this bindi, this tikka here, then some earrings, good ones, traditional ones, then the sari, the pallu and everything. So it's a Shringar.
Shringar.
Yeah.
Is there a day in the week where you used to make these weddings? Like here in Slovakia, there are usually weddings or on Saturday.
No, we have weddings based on the planetary situations.
Okay.
So there is no date which we decide in advance. We take the patrika, we call it patrika, like when you were born, that time, that place. So what were the planets that particular time, and what are the planets on that particular time. Based on that, we have the whole life designed, you know, and everyone in India mostly they have it done by their fortune teller, we call it.
Okay.
You know, Jyotish we call it, but they're not fortune tellers, they're Jyotish, you know, they are scientific people behind it. And then when two people's patrika, they match, okay, the planets were good when you were born, the planets were good when he was born, and now you want to do together, share the life together, means are the planets are going to support that? According to that, which day the planets would support it the most, that date is taken out and then you get married that day.
Okay.
And that particular time.
Yeah. Wow. So you have to make it, yeah?
Yeah,
On
you have to
time.
make it. You can also make it, like if you can give me your birth date, birth time, birthplace, your entire life can be taken out according to your planetary situations, and you can observe whether it really happened in your life. If it really happened, then whatever they are telling, what might happen will also happen.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a lot of people say it's an art, a lot of people say it's a science, depending on the planet's situation and everything. But it is what it is. You know, like you believe it or you don't believe it. If you believe it, it tends to come true. If you don't believe it, then everything is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like good.
So choose wisely what you believe in. Yeah, thank you. How do you say thank you in Indian? Can you
In
say
Marathi, we say dhanyavad. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Yeah.
Dhanyavad.
And in Hindi, which is the national language, you say shukriya.
Shukriya.
Yeah.
Shukriya. It's close to Arabic shukran, yeah?
Shukran, yeah. It's
Shukriya.
close to. So, a lot of words in Hindi and Urdu, Arabic is Urdu similar, you know, like, so you will find similarities between those words.
Okay.
And a lot of words in Sanskrit, Slavic, you will find similar in Marathi, like you call ananas pineapple, you know, why pineapple, I don't know, but ananas, we also call it ananas. So a lot of things are there which pani you have as a, what you call pani as a man, we call pani as water, you know. So a lot of words are similar, but the meanings are different.
But pani is water in Gypsy language. Here in Slovakia, we have this part of nation,
Yeah.
and they call water pani.
So pani is a Hindi word
Okay.
for water.
Okay.
Maybe they came from India.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they look Indian also, no? Little bit. I was also wondering when I saw the gypsies for the first time. Oh, Indians! My wife was, no, they're gypsies, but they look Indian, I said. Yeah, they do.
Čo by ste sa ešte chceli spýtať nášho dnešného hostia? Dajte nám vedieť, napíšte nám na e-mail ahoj@1,5chlapa.sk.